Does anyone want to be in a video role? Come on, Cheesesteak. I don't know. Let's talk about our day. Your
real channel right now.
Your jacket is really throwing off the color balance. It's making me look. I literally am starting to look like a Twilight character at this point in the year.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I look like I have the complexion of Scotch tape and Elmer's glue put together.
Well, we all knew this was gonna happen. It's like basically a brand new clean whiteboard that you are right now.
I am.
Yeah.
Wait, Reynolds, I have a question.
And dry. What are you asking?
Have you ever watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Bro, get out of here.
Yo, real talk, nah.
No, I'm from the
show's
streets.
amazing.
No, I don't. No one watches Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
It's so good.
No, go live in Jersey in the suburbs. How's your day, Cheesesteak?
It was pretty good. I've been touched all day.
You've been what?
Well, it's kind of out of context, but I'm wearing a really fluffy jacket.
Because you look like a Build-A-Bear today.
Yeah.
That's why.
I literally.
This isn't particularly. It looks really cozy. I feel like I would just fall asleep if I put that on. If you wear that, you just fall asleep immediately. It looks like the top end of a footy pajamas.
It's kind of like, yo, when I got this, I was so warm. I put it on, and I felt so bliss.
And then you just didn't take it off ever?
Yeah. No, I didn't take it off.
Did you walk to school today? No.
No. So I was gonna walk to school, as in I wasn't gonna come, but because it's freezing outside.
It's like 4 degrees. What was it with the wind chill today? Anybody know? -7 with the wind chill. Which, like, look, here's the thing. There are people in the world that live in that temperature all the time, but they're used to it. We're not used to this in this part of the world. It's like, it gets cold, but not like freeze your face off cold.
Yeah, no, it was so cold, people made memes about me. That's literally how this went.
They made memes about you?
Yeah.
Because you were wearing this Tauntaun uniform? Cephas, how was your day, man? What does that mean?
It was.
I had literally had a terrible day. That's
my fault. My day was like, I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so it made better. You feel me? Even though, pause.
Don't throw snakes in my room. Stop. I'm trying. Can I please make this video? Because my brain's gonna melt. All I want to do is go home and get drunk. I just made that part up.
Whoa.
I'm not going home and getting drunk. You watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then?
And I felt sick throughout the entire day, so I just want to go home and sleep. I'm like hibernate, low-key.
I don't get sick.
I'm right.
I take elderberry syrup. It's some weird hippie concoction my wife gives me. Bye, Cephas. I'll be ready in 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. I think my face might melt today. That's how rough of a day it was. We come into school, it is freezing outside. I am such a firm believer that consistency equals discipline. That when things are the same way every single day, then kids just act better. They know exactly what to expect. They know what's expected of them. And so today, because it was so cold, the kids were allowed to wear coats in school, which is, makes sense because it's cold. But that led to behavior that was insane all day. And so not like anything bad. Kids getting up and messing with the pencil sharpener. Kids getting out of their seat. Kids not doing the work. Kids keep talking. And so one of the things I've been doing is, and I've talked about this on the live feed, is when I put up on the Promethean board every single day what you're supposed to be doing, I put how much time you have next to it. And then the idea there is the train is moving. If you do not complete the pre-class within the 5-minute given time, then we're going to move on to the next thing, and you have to finish that on your own time. Now, the exception for that is if, let's say you didn't understand it, or you came in late because you were with another teacher. There's leeway there for those sorts of things. But if you were just late to class, if you couldn't find a pencil, if you were screwing around in class, then I just keep moving because I literally can't get everything done when that happens. And that does a pretty good job of squashing that kind of stuff, except today, when everyone had coats on and it made everyone crazy. That added to which every point in the day where I tried to grade something, tried to put grades in, tried to complete some kind of work, tried to clear out my emails, somebody came in and was having a horrible day. At least 6 kids I spoke to today were having the worst day. Something happened at home, something happened at school. And to be honest, I really should put that on hold sometimes and just tell kids hey, come back later. But it's hard to do that. I don't want kids going through the day feeling like crap. And so I sit there and I talk to them and I listen to everything, and then I give them feedback, and I listen to their feedback to my feedback, and we have this conversation. Because at the end of the day, I just think that that's the game, right? Teaching there's never enough time. There's never enough stuff. There's never enough of anything that we need. But if the kids aren't feeling confident and they don't believe that what they're doing is actually leading to something, then it's all for nothing. No one's gonna work for grades if they don't think that it's going somewhere. And no one's gonna put in the work if they don't have the confidence to think that they can actually pull it off. And so how do we build confidence? How do we build belief in students? By listening to them, by caring for them, by pushing off what we have to do some days to sit there with students and really talk with them. And if that means I don't get back to someone's email, if that means that I can't get a piece of paperwork done, if that means that my grades go in a day later, then I do it. Now look, I don't take work home with me any longer. There's too many things to do at home. There's side business stuff, there's dinner, homework with my kids, there's, just marital duties. And so at this point in my career, I don't take work home. Because of that, I need to make the most out of my day. And sometimes that just doesn't happen because I'm helping with students. Today, however, though, we did finished rough drafts of the children's books. So the kids are again reading children's books. The other day, I read a bunch of children's books in class. I read Oliver Jeffers, Dallas Clayton's book, The Giving Tree. We talked about all of those authors, about Dallas Clayton and Oliver Jeffers and Shel Silverstein. And then yesterday, we talked about themes that you see both in children's literature and in children's television. So whether you're watching The Backyardigans or Little Bear, and then what does that look like in The Giving Tree or The Incredible Book Eating Boy or The Book of Awesome, like there are themes that carry throughout these pieces of art, and what does that sort of look like? So not to give too much away too soon, but I think I have a hookup. So a friend of mine is on this shares studio space with Oliver Jeffers, and so I'm trying to get my boys up there this year to go meet with him, and that could be a really great experience also, because again, I think if you see it, you can be it, and that doesn't have to be someone that necessarily looks exactly like you. It just has to be someone that you can identify with. Maybe your students are African American and you bring in someone that's Asian, but they have the same backstory. There's a connection piece there, and I love doing that more than anything. The other classes, we're working on Lord of the Flies, which we started last week. And that has been kind of a mess because, we came back from winter break. My grandmother was sick prior to winter break. Then I was dealing with that aftermath. Then my kids got sick for like 2 weeks. One had it and then the other one had it. And so that's pushed everything back. And I missed a day and a half last week to stay home with my children. And now we're trying to get caught up, which isn't always fun. Like I didn't get to do a lot of the fun stuff that I do on the front end. So this week it was more like just vocabulary words and reading partially together as a class, and then that was only for like 10 minutes to make sure everyone was on point. And then what I do in that is, so if we start reading part of chapter 1 of Lord of the Flies, I always get us to a point where I'll stop and say, all right, look, this is what's going to happen next, and it's crazy, or it's wild, or pay attention to this, or it's exciting, or wait till you see what happens to this dude. What you're doing is leaving them with a cliffhanger and giving them a reason to want to go on to continue reading the book. And that's just a really great move, and it works every single time. And then tomorrow being Friday, it's always assessments on Friday. Vocab test, notes on the author that we took earlier in the week. There's a short quiz on that, and then there's a short 5-question quiz on the book to just make sure that people understand what's happening. Quizzes and assessments should never try and trick students. They should always just check for understanding so you can see who's reading, who's not, who understands the book, and who doesn't. I think that's it for today. Yeah, so there you go. Just a brief little update, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. Peace.